Rockstar has just released a new quote-unquote big update for Red Dead Online. The changes went live on February 26th, and as I was putting this video together, some further additions were made on March 5th, so I'll be talking about those here too. I've taken some time to really sink my teeth into this new update, and I have quite a few thoughts on this whole situation. And some of those thoughts may surprise you. I did just put out a 37-minute video of me gushing over the potential for inventive and engaging Red Dead Online content updates, so it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that I had high hopes for this so-called big update. Okay, first off, we need to talk about this big update business, because man, that has got to be a joke. This is the smallest big update probably in the history of video games. Barely anything has changed here, so if you haven't gone back to Red Dead Online yet, keep your expectations in check. Let's look at the actual update itself on Rockstar's website. Alright, so I'm here on the official Rockstar website looking at the patch notes for that February 26th update to Red Dead Online, and people are pissed about this page for a variety of reasons. I'm going to show you why. So as we scroll down here, we see the first subheading here is about new gameplay. Okay, so it explains, you earn gold and XP for daily challenges. That's really good. That, it's pretty straightforward. Don't gotta really say too much. But now starting here, they start talking about next week. Starting next week, you could, enter this free roam event about Fool's Gold or whatever. This is not what the actual update came with, though. So the fact that they included this almost looks like they're padding out the page as if they know that they're not really giving us too much with this update. So this continues with the next update. They go, and looking ahead, new game modes will arrive, target races, and fishing challenges are coming, and 3 new showdown modes. So in the end, this new gameplay subheading, all this right here is not actually included with the update. So we just have this, daily challenges. Moving on, we have new weapons, the rare shotgun, that came with the update, and then they get right into this again, coming soon, with the Evans repeater. I mean, by the time this video is out, this is released, but when this update went live, the Evans repeater was not included. So a lot of this patch notes here on this page are like padding, and it's like kind of insulting when you look at that and go, wait, all this stuff that they're talking about is not actually in the game yet. New clothing, they don't even specify what the actual clothes are, but yes, there are in fact new clothing with this update, so they get a pass on that one. New emotes, yes, that is in fact true. There are new emotes. And then we get to the world enhancements here. So they talk about the updated player radar and visibility, which means you get basically marked if you, are trolling, or you can't see other players from the other side of the map, which, yeah, it helps against griefers, but if you're not a griefer yourself, it doesn't really mean too much. Easier parlay and feuds, okay, that's like a quality of life thing. And then we have enhanced law and bounty system, which I'm going to get into in a second. This stuff here is kind of stuff they're throwing to the player if you actually log in and play, which has been pretty standard, I think, since launch. They've kind of been giving players who are actually playing these little, things to collect, which is all well and good, but again, this is supposed to be a big update, according to their Twitter, and so far, if you're reading through this, I'm not really seeing anything too big, right? That's the issue. And then there's the PS4 early access content, which, by definition, was never really going to be super substantial. Like, a jawbone knife is kind of a cosmetic thing, and that's about it. Yeah, so let's go back to the video and see what this all really means. So here, this is really what the big update entails. There's not a lot to it, and people are pissed. But why exactly are they pissed? And am I pissed? Because if I'm pissed, then there's really a problem, because I'm freaking in love with this game. So, let's dive into this new update and see what it does right and what it does wrong. Perhaps the negative reaction to this update doesn't come from what it does wrong per se, but instead what it doesn't do at all. I wouldn't be surprised if most players didn't even notice that the game was updated and changes were made. There are no new missions, no changes to the world's map, certainly no heists. Instead, we have changes that are so negligible that you probably have to read the patch notes to know that they're even there. Players are so starved for engaging, deep gameplay content for Red Dead Online, so throwing new cosmetic additions like clothing and emotes at us at this stage of the game cosmetic updates that have absolutely zero impact on the actual gameplay loop itself, it kind of feels like a slap in the face. Scrolling through the catalog, I'll admit that I like a lot of the new clothing options added to the game, like these pants right here are lit. But they're still super expensive, and that's a problem because we really don't have many great ways of making money in the game. I'm certainly not going to spend real money on gold bars to buy any of these outfits. And speaking of saving money in gold, let's talk about these emotes. Oh my god, they are seriously charging this much cash and gold for emotes. Like, when do you ever use these in game? The opportunity to enter this long canned animation never really presents itself. I think I've used emotes like 5 times in total, and not in a million years would I actually waste resources on another one. Unless they think up one that is absolutely hilarious, like this. But so far, none of them qualify. We've also received 2 new weapons in the form of the rare shotgun and the Evans repeater from Red Dead Redemption 1. RDO being updated with new weapons kinda goes without saying, so I'm happy to see them popping up, and hopefully there are still many more to come. I've seen a lot of complaints that the weapons aren't accessible in the single player mode, and I definitely agree that really sucks. But let's look at the bright side here. At least when the PC version of Red Dead 2 drops, these could be modded into the single player. Just watch, mods for this game are gonna be so sick. Anyways, cosmetic updates are well and good, and I like seeing more added to the game, but they need to be complementary to an actual meaty content update. I think it's a very hard sell to just present them up front like this as if they're a big deal when the game still has far bigger problems that are not addressed yet. Look no further than the recent Arena War update for GTA Online, which gives the player access to a bunch of new clothes, cars, and weapons, but it's all complementary to the real meat of the update, which is the Arena War mode itself, a completely unique experience for GTA Online that offers something totally new and different. That's just not present here in Red Dead Online with this update, and it's sorely needed. Next up, let's look at these 3 world enhancements here. 3 world enhancements that don't really change up the gameplay that much. These seem to be anti-griefing measures, but as someone who doesn't grief other players like some sick freak, this does little for me. As for the griefers themselves, shocking news, they're still gonna find a way to ruin the experience of other players. Because they're griefers, that's what they do. It's nice that more aggressive players are now marked with a dark red dot, but it doesn't mean much when they pop up on the map out of nowhere and seconds later just blow me away. The enhanced law and bounty system is also basically useless in practice. While it may slow down some of the griefers out there, paying off a small bounty or fighting off some NPC bounty hunters isn't exactly some giant deterrent. Perhaps the worst change of all comes from some of the new daily challenges. Now, I'm going to talk a lot more about daily challenges in a minute, but probably the biggest source of anger when it comes to this update are the daily challenges that ask the player to kill other players. This basically incentivizes griefing and works directly against those world enhancements that we just went over. To clear one of these stupid challenges, I was forced to kill 10 other players on horseback. Of course, I quickly gained a bounty. I then had to deal with NPC cops shooting at me, and my dot on the map had turned dark red. It sucks because I have never been a griefer, and going forward, I'm not even going to bother with these challenges because it's just not fun going around and blowing other players away. I've already received a ton of angry messages from players that I've killed, and after a long day at work, I really don't need this. Seriously, people do not like getting killed for no reason. And as of this update, players now get rewarded with XP and gold for killing other players. Yikes. So I'm sad to say that if griefers are the reason why you dropped Red Dead Online or are not enjoying Red Dead Online, none of that is really addressed in any adequate way with these updates. You're just gonna have to put up with them. At this point, I think a passive mode needs to arrive sooner rather than later, because it's clear that all the griefing has just created tons of negative word of mouth surrounding the mode, and I want this game to be as successful as possible and a fun experience, not a miserable one. But, contrary to popular belief, it's not all bad, kids. Believe it or not, I thought there was some good stuff introduced with this content update. The biggest positive by far comes in the form of those daily challenges. As simple as that sounds, having these 7 objectives to clear every day has really transformed my time with Red Dead Online for the better. Before the update, all we really had to do to gain some solid XP in a short amount of time were stranger missions, or performing well in the PvP mode. Or you could shoot like 10 million birds over and over, I guess that works too. But now, with these daily challenges, we can finally engage in the world more like we do in the single player mode. We can hunt for perfect pelts, find and pick rare plants, and best of all, actually get a reward as a result in the form of some gold and solid XP. I found my average gameplay loop transforming from just traveling from stranger mission to stranger mission to traveling to each stranger mission while also trying to complete each of these challenges. Besides those stupid ass griefing challenges that I just went over, the rest are all attainable goals in a short amount of time and reward your play. Before, I struggled to play online for more than an hour at a time because I just got tired of the repetitive nature of the stranger missions. But now, with the daily challenges thrown into the mix in addition to the stranger missions, I'm having a lot of fun. That little extra meat in the middle there between each stranger mission really makes a difference to me. I don't really have as much time as I'd like to play Red Dead Online, usually an hour or 2 at a time at most, but now I could say that with these daily challenges, I'm really enjoying that time with the game, and I feel pretty fulfilled with my 2 hours of game time each day that I'm able to play. I usually end up with some gold and a higher rank, and that's good enough for me. Best of all, it's been announced that players who engage with the daily challenges will be rewarded soon with a key item. Right now, that item will be a special spinner, which is actually legit useful. And this is the kind of rewarding gameplay that I want to see more of going forward, and stuff like this needs to become the new normal. Players should be rewarded for actually playing the game with valuable items like the special spinner all the time. Unlike before, I found myself playing Red Dead Online almost every day now just to get those daily objectives done. I just throw on a podcast and go to town. By the end of the day, I've usually ranked up, or at least I've come close. Obviously, that's going to take longer and longer every time I rank up, and unless changes are continuously made, the daily challenges will eventually become stale, but for now, I'm pretty happy with it. I could truly say I'm having a good time playing Red Dead Online right now. Now, to wrap this video up, it needs to be said. This is still not enough content. Not even close. Stuff like daily challenges are features that should have been there from the very beginning, along with about 15 other engaging hooks for players to keep playing the damn game. So we're still a ways away from a truly deep, satisfying Red Dead Online experience. Just see my other video, this update does not scratch that itch in the least. But this is a baby step in the right direction, and like I've said, I'm enjoying my time with the game right now, and encourage all of you watching to at least give it a shot. You might like some of this stuff too. Stuff like Fool's Gold, the new free roam event that looks really cool as well. Unfortunately, it has not popped up for me in-game yet, so I really don't have any detailed thoughts on it quite yet. So I'll give impressions on that with my next Red Dead Online update video, but for now, I've heard it's pretty fun and a good way to get quick XP if you manage to get the armor for yourself, so I definitely look forward to trying it whenever the free roam event pops up for me. So now I want to hear from you. Does this update have its hooks in you like it kinda does with me? Did you even blink in the direction of Red Dead Online after this update, or are you still done until there are some legit major updates? Are you still just playing the single player mode and don't really give a crap about online? I want to know in the comments below. I can only hope we'll get some solid, consistent updates from now on for Red Dead Online. Or else I'm playing Apex, dude. I'm playing Apex all day long. If you like this video and want to see more Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2 coverage, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I had to go through some unfortunate stuff over the last month that has been preventing me from making as many videos as I'd like, so I want to thank everyone subscribing to the channel for their patience. Going forward, I'm hoping to put out a lot more fun Red Dead content on a more consistent basis. So please look forward to that. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and take care.